Hello, Wheel Masters, and welcome back to Mastering the Wheel. So today we're on day 8 of our bankroll building challenge, and of course, hoping to add another 10% to our bankroll. The last session went okay. We managed to put some profit in there, but we didn't have a very high hit rate. So hopefully our hit rate goes up a little bit more this time. We were hitting somewhere in the mid to high 30s, and that really it's quite low when you're betting on almost half the table. But anyways, that said, hopefully we can turn things around in this session. So we're going to give it another go, and we're using the usual progression. I'll be betting on the hottest 18 numbers, or the 18 numbers that have been hitting more frequently than their statistical average, and using my program BetMaster to execute those bets for me. And we're also going to be using the system failure trigger. This is by far my favorite trigger to use because we really play on probabilities with this. And the chances of a system failing, of course, is inevitable. But the chances of a system failing back to back, consecutively, is kind of a rare event. And so that's the idea of using this trigger. The fact that our system more than likely won't fail again right after it just fails, right? So I've done very well doing this, and so we're going to keep on going with it. And also one thing I haven't done on camera is set up a custom click. And I'm sure you guys, if you've seen my videos, you see my page refreshing when I'm waiting for a trigger. And if you're new to the channel and you're not sure exactly what's happening here, so as we wait for this trigger, this system failure to happen, the page needs to stay active, because if you're inactive on one of these casino pages, they pause your game for inactivity. So we need to keep the page active. So you can do that a couple of ways. You can either use the page refresh on the casino page, but most casinos actually take you back to the lobby when you do that. So that's not an option for most people. I have that option at my casino, but today I'm going to be showing you guys another option. And that's going to be where we can actually set the custom clicks up to place a minimum bet in certain spin intervals to keep the page alive. So we're going to be doing that today. So I'm going to set that up, and as well, if you've never seen my program BetMaster before, this is one of the most powerful roulette tools on the internet right now, and there's so much you can do with it. Like today, you're going to see it's going to be automatically placing bets for us. I built this progression right inside the program, and the program has a progression builder where you can build custom progressions and have the program automatically execute them for you. And as well as it's got a whole suite of triggers. Today we're using the system failure trigger, so you'll get to see that. And so I'm going to go ahead and set the program up to execute our progression today and do the custom clicks, and we'll see what happens. And if anybody is curious about BetMaster, if you want to go check it out, it is available at www.betmaster-data.com. There's an FAQ there. Answer all of your questions, and if you still have more questions, go ahead and put them down in the comments, and I'm happy to answer anything you want to know. All right, let's get into the video. But one more thing before we do, if you guys don't mind hitting that subscribe button and the like button, it does help out the channel a great deal, and I do very much appreciate it. So thank you so much for that. Okay, let's get set up now. So as I said, I'm going to be setting up custom clicks today. So we're going to start with that. So I'm going to open up, it's in the config tab. We'll go to custom clicks, and we're going to create an action. So this action is going to be called, I don't know, auto page alive, we'll call it. Okay, and now we've got our profile name. I can start doing, I'm going to add a click. And it is going to be a minimum bet. So I'm going to bet on red or black, or any even bet. And I'm going to actually select the denomination first. So let me select the 1 or the 10-cent denomination. And then I'm going to save that location. And I'm going to add a small delay in between clicks. We'll go 1 second. And then save that just to make sure that the action completes before the next action continues, because there's like, a millisecond in between actions if I don't put a delay. And then I'll add another click. Okay. And then I'm just going to wait for the table to get up into the betting position again so that I can place my bet and or get the location. And we'll bet on red right there. Oh, I did not mean to do that. Let's just take that off the table and bring this back up. Oh, there we go. Okay, so we have our coordinates selected, and let's see. Okay, I just have to set the spin trigger. So with my table, I'm lucky. These guys, this casino doesn't have a very frequent inactivity pause. It's like every 20 minutes. So I'm going to set this to like 20 spins. So set spin trigger. And I'm going to set that to 20 spins. So every 20 spins, this action is going to occur now. Okay, and then I'll save the actions. And that's everything. So now the custom clicks is completely set up. I'm not going to start it yet. I'm going to wait until my my progression is set up. So I'm just going to close this for now. And let's start with collecting data. So I'll show you how that's done. It's really simple. All you have to do is get the data sheet from the casino right here, and then use like a snippet tool or something. And I'll go ahead and grab this screenshot here. Oh, I don't like the way that it was too close to the edge. I'm going to get a wider shot of it. There we go. Just like that. And then I'll go ahead and save this. And then we can minimize that. Now I'm going to start data collection. And then I'm going to add the results. So I'm going to bring in that screenshot. And you'll see the numbers populate. Oh, right here, I have to import them all. Now they're all populated. You can see the last number we got was 16. That's right here. So we're going to add that 7 manually because one spin has come since we got that screenshot. And there we go. It's in. We've got 89 spins now. 88 from the screenshot, and then that 7 we just put in is 89. And now it's collecting data. You'll see the next number, 33, it's going to populate right here. There it is. So now we're collecting data. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is just set my sample size to 74 because that's the pool of numbers I like to pull my hot from. So it's not going to look at any other spins except for the last 74. Now I'm going to open up my advanced stats tab, and what this is showing me are all of the hot numbers that have come in the last, well, now 90 spins. Or all of the numbers, period, but we can see the red ones are hot, the blue ones are cold, and the gray ones are ones that have come exactly within their statistical expectation. Since we have this set to 74 spins, each one of these gray numbers has come twice. Because 74 is 37 times 2, each number is expected 1 every 37 spins. Now, I'm going to open up this number statistics. This is the individual stats for numbers, and I'll just expand this so we can see all 18 of them. And then I'm going to filter it to hot. And now my program has a list of all of the hot numbers, and now it's going to know exactly which ones to bet on when we start betting. And as you can see here, these are all the hot numbers, and I'll just expand this really quick so you can see. These are the types of metrics that it tracks here. So you can see that, so for example, the number 25 has been hit 9 times over the last 74 spins at a rate of 12.16%. The longest it's gone without being hit is 20 spins. It was hit last 9 spins ago, and on average, it's been hitting 1 every 8 spins. So this is a really high frequency hit, way above its statistical average. This number should be 2. Okay, number of hits should be 2. It's hit 9 times in the last 74 spins. So this is the kind of data that you get with BetMaster. It does this for all of these sectors of the wheel. Right now we're just looking at individual numbers, but it does it for everything. Splits, corners, streets, double streets, you know, you name it. Just going to move all of this stuff in so we can see it. Okay, so now we've got all of that set up. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start what's called a session. So this is how BetMaster keeps track of all of our progress as we're placing bets. So I'm going to call this, because we're doing a session or a video series called Bankroll Building. We're going to call this Bankroll Building Day. We are now on day 8. So Bankroll Building Day 8. And the amount of money required for this progression is $230. That's with 10-cent starting unit on all 18 numbers. Okay. So now the session is started. I can go ahead and load the progression. Actually, the progression is already loaded, but that just comes right from here. I've got a bunch of pre-built progressions already. I've built these myself, but the one we're using today is 18 hottest with system failure trigger. Okay, so it's already loaded and ready to go. And I think that's it. So now all I have to do is I'm just going to get a fresh, because we've already been in here for 10 minutes. I'm going to refresh the page right now. And then once we get that next spin, which we'll see in just a second, it'll be the 11. Okay, perfect. So now I'm going to go ahead and fire up my custom clicks. I'll start the action on that and then close. So now every 20 spins, it's going to automatically place a bet on I think we did red, and that's it. That's all set. Now all I have to do is start the progression, and now we sit and wait. So basically, what my program is going to do is start keeping track of. Here, I'm going to put this on Advanced Stats tab so we can see what's happening there too. But it's going to be keeping track of wins and losses now in the background, as if we were placing bets, but we're not. And basically, after 7 cold numbers in a row comes, that's when it's going to start placing bets, because after 7 cold numbers, that's when we would actually lose our bankroll or the system would fail. So again, once it fails once in the background, we're going to start placing bets, expecting it not to fail again while we're placing our bets. Our goal is 10% of our bankroll, which is, it works out to $25.20 in this case. And let's see if we can pull it off. So while we're waiting for the trigger to fire, because this can take minutes or it can take hours, I'm going to speed up the video from this point, and I'm going to put on a song from the Betmaster soundtrack. So enjoy the music. I'll speed up the video until the trigger fires, and I'll be right back as soon as the trigger fires. So again, enjoy the music, and we'll see you in a few minutes.
Yeah, I see the wheels spinning, but I'm reading every move. OCR locked on numbers while the patterns start to prove. Yeah, Betmaster tracking data, got the analytics move. They betting blind, I'm betting smart, watch me hit the groove. Triggers armed and ready when the absence starts to peak. System watching street collapse before the table even speaks. Read it 7 times, I'm loaded up for black to sneak. Numbers don't lie, patterns die, that's the edge I seek. Every spin gets documented, every trend gets caught. Progression, automation, doing everything I taught. Risk calculator telling me exactly what I bought. While they throwing chips at hope, I'm executing thought. Betmaster on the screen, I'm predicting what's ahead. Data-driven domination, I'm collecting green and red. They call it luck, I call it science. Statistics never dead. Winning's just a formula when you know what the number said. 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 You know what the number said. You know what the number said. Frequency detector showing me the code ain't hot. Dozens getting hammered, column betting's what I got. Multi-group progression spreading out across the plot. One group hits the trigger, money dropping on the spot. Absence trigger locked, the 12 detentions getting thick. System failure indicator telling me when plays get sick. Expect or ill analysis showing the perfect pick. Betmaster's my weapon, watch me hit them with the trick. They studying the wheel, I'm studying the code behind. Pattern recognition software got me reading minds. Roulette thinks it's random, but the data's redefined. Victories mathematical when the analytics align. Betmaster on the screen, I'm predicting what's ahead. Data-driven domination, I'm collecting green and red. They call it luck, I call it science. Statistics never dead. When it's just a formula, when you know what the number said. When you know what the number said. When you know what the number said. 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 Automated betting, executing when the moment's right. Triggers firing perfect in the middle of the night. Statistics painting pictures while the profits getting tight. This ain't gambling anymore, this calculated flight. Progression builder, stacking risk assessment, never wrong. Betmaster in my arsenal, I've been winning all along. They walk up to the table weak, I'm walking up too strong. Data is my shield, analytics is my song. The wheel keeps spinning circles, but my mind is 10 ahead. Every number captured, every pattern clearly read. Betmaster's not a gamble, it's a guarantee instead. I turn the game of chance into a game of pure finesse. Roulette wheel spinning, but the house can't see me coming. Betmaster got me winning while the profits keep on plumbing. Data never sleeps and these analytics stay humming. I cracked the code, I own the game, now watch these winners summon. You know what the number said. 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 You know what the number said.
Okay, guys, so I'm here. That just fired. So let's see what happens. We've got our bets on the table here, and that wasn't too bad actually. Only 137 spins. So yeah, 26, and that's going to be a first loss. Now I don't know if you noticed while I had sped up the video there, but I was struggling to keep the page alive. it kept on losing connection to the casino for whatever reason, and I ended up setting up my own custom click because it seemed that even placing the minimum bet wasn't doing it. So, I know there are a lot of casinos that do it. I've got many members of who use Betmaster who do that technique. They have the minimum bet going on the table to keep their page alive. This is a new casino that I've been playing at, and I guess I'm still trying to work out the kinks with it. All right, number 9, and that is another loss. So 2 in a row. And as it goes for hot numbers on the table, we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 11. We're right around the average of what I normally see. And we are on level 3. But yeah, up till now, I've been using my regular custom click, the page refresh, and that's worked okay for me. But occasionally, I would still have to, like in the last video, I had to manually reset everything right after we had lost virtually, and bring back the page. But so I thought that I would try with the minimum bet this time to see how that would go. But apparently the custom clicks on the page refresh works better at this casino. And there we go. So we won that last one, and we're back to level 1 now. Got our first win bagged, and looking to make our 10%. And the number 10, that's another one. Good. It's nice to win a few consecutive wins in a row. So if you guys wanted to try out Betmaster, you could always go to www.betmaster-data.com and check it out. As I said in the beginning, this program is packed with all kinds of cool features, and it's got something for everybody, whether you like making database decisions or you're just tired of making mistakes at the wheel. I don't know how many times the clock has run out on me, and I've had to either I've missed my last bet or better two that for that matter, and the number would come up, and if I would have had the money on the table, I would have won. So that's just as bad as a loss, really. And that used to happen to me. Well, I don't want to say all the time, but it's happened. And so the program now, you build your progression right inside of it. It executes the bets for you, and it never misses. It doesn't make a mistake. So that's one advantage. Another one is the fact that it takes emotion out of the game, right? You often go with a plan, but when things get tough, you just lost your last progression, and you think, oh, I'm going to go for one more try. That's the worst mistake you can make, and the program doesn't allow you to do that. You go in with your plan. You let the program execute it, and if you win, you win, and if you don't, well, don't get emotional over it. Tomorrow's another day. It's part of the discipline. It's really that's the real edge in roulette, is having good discipline. And we are now on level 3 of this progression with a 41% win rate, but it's still early. I hope we don't have another session like last one. Man, these low win rates are rough. There we go. It's funny. Most of the time they're higher than 50%, or at least at 50%. So to see them come in so low, but that's part of the variance, I suppose. There are swings in both directions. I can finish sometimes no problem with 70% win rate, which is of course an anomaly on the other side of the swing. But in the end, as long as we leave with profit. But like I keep saying, what I find with betting this way is that run of 7 that can wipe you out doesn't come as frequently as like a run of 7 red or black. Even if we are hitting below average. Still having a hard time making a comeback, but that's okay. We're still up. Got our first 2 wins in the bag, looking for our third, and we just had a dealer change, so let's see if she's going to be good to us. So what did you guys think of that song that I put on while we were waiting for the trigger to fire? I'm looking for some feedback, so let me know what you think. And ouch, moving on to level 3. It'd be nice to get some consecutive wins. $40.60. And what's this dealer going to give us now? And a 36. No, that's going to be another loss. All right, on to level 4. And here we go. So this is day 8, so we need to win this one and 2 more to double our bankroll essentially. And then we'll be on well, yeah, we're still not on house money yet. We need to double our bankroll before we're on house money. And there we go. We got that one in the bag. So that's a nice reset. And we are about 25% of the way to our target now. 17 spins in. Let's get a consecutive win here. And what do we got? 35. Oh no, that's a cold number. All right, another loss. And moving on to level 2. So we've had a couple new members join the Betmaster community these last couple of days. So welcome, guys. And I have noticed that we have a few Betmaster members who aren't on our Discord yet. So if you're watching, join the Discord. You have an email that I sent you, and you'll have the link to join it. And the link is also in the description. And at the Betmaster website, you guys can use the button in the account page. You can actually hook up your Betmaster account right to our Discord, and that's going to give you a special role in our Discord, which will give you some of the members only pages. So go check that out. And anybody else, if you're curious about Betmaster or what other people are doing with the program or what they're saying about it, you're all welcome to join our Discord. The link is in the description, and come check it out. See what other people are saying. Everybody is always reporting and posting their success. They're showing some good things that's happening with the program. So come check it out. Everybody's invited. We're a growing community. And once you start playing with data, then trust me, you're not going to want to go without. It's like you'll feel like you're playing blind when you play without data. I've been doing this for 3 years now, and I couldn't imagine. I would never play roulette without Betmaster now. It really changes the game, and that's what a good roulette tool should do: is enhance your experience. Right? It makes you feel like you're making informed decisions rather than guessing. And I do like to bet where the ball is landing, where it's hot, and the whole premise of that is, there could be potentially a bias. And of course, there's not always a bias. Like, right now we're hitting below average, and obviously the hot numbers, they mean nothing right now. But that's not always the case. And it's impossible to tell whether it's random noise or some kind of bias caused by the dealer or some other condition. But in the end, the ball is landing in certain areas of the wheel for whatever reason. So that's why I like to bet there, and I've done fairly well doing that. So, but like I keep saying, it doesn't always make the difference, but I do find in the long run, over large samples, it absolutely does make a difference. And again, I know I'm repeating myself here, but that cold run of 7, it doesn't come as often as your average even bet 7. You know, if you're betting on high, low, even, odd, red, or black, uh, 7 of the opposite of what you're betting on comes on average every 100 spins, pretty much like clockwork. And when it comes to a cold 7, it's a very different story. Often I can wait, 300 or 400 spins before my trigger fires. There's something to be said about that. And going on to level 2, man, we just can't seem to catch a break here. I mean, we're winning, but like, we just can't seem to catch 2 or 3 in a row. Oh, that's all right. Our days will pick up. This is a bankroll series, and it's going to go on for a while. I actually forgot to mention this in the last couple of videos because I put a call out to you guys to let me know how high you wanted to go, and I actually got an answer. So one of my subscribers said, let's make it to $5,000. So that's going to be the goal. We are going to turn. So the risk here is $290. I started off with just over 300 in the casino account, but the progression risk itself is $230. And even though that wasn't in the account, I do have 3 bullets to fire, so we'll call it a cool 690, right? So if I lose $230 3 times, we'll say that the system doesn't work, and don't try to make money with it. But I've seen it work. I've built a bankroll using the system. This is why I'm using the system now to show that it can work. And yeah, so I've got 3 bullets, $690. We're on our first bullet right now, and hopefully we don't let it go to waste. And we're going to try to build that up into a $5,000 bankroll. So we'll see. And I'm trying to produce more videos, guys. Last week I managed to get you guys a bonus video. I mentioned it in the video that was a bonus video. But this week was just crazy. I had a few updates that I was working on with Betmaster. I was helping some new members get up and running, and it's just been a crazy week. And then of course I have a household to run, so it's been very busy. But I am thinking of you guys. I'm trying to get more videos out. I do minimum 3 a week, but I'd like to do 5 would be nice. So five would definitely be nice. So hopefully things quiet down a little bit, and I can swing a few extra videos, because if I'm only doing 3 a week, it could take a while to build up the bankroll. But that's okay. I've got time. But still, I'd like to move on a little quicker. And we're on level 3 now. So look at that. So it's another really low hit rate, like 38%, and we're betting on half the wheel, right? And there's another loss. So we're going down to level 4 now. Like, wow. Yeah, and what are we at? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's like 12 hot numbers on the board. So, this is typical to see 12 numbers that are hitting slightly above average. But again, it doesn't always mean anything. All right, let's bag a win right here. And 14, we'll take it. And we're already at 28 spins, and we're just over halfway to our target. This may be the first session that I have to call it quits before we meet our financial goal. 40 spins is the limit. So if you've never heard me say that before, or this is your or you're fairly new to the channel, that's what I advocate for, rather than a financial goal, which I always set at 10%. Even more important is a spin goal, right? Because every progression is going to fail eventually, And, you know, just like every event in roulette has a probability of happening, you know, a certain amount of times over, or X amount of times, for example, like, you know, this progression has a chance of failing one every 216 spins, you know, when I break down the math. And, and so when you know how risky your progression is in terms of spins, then you can mitigate your risk by allowing yourself to leave or not stay as long as the math says you should, right? If your system is going to fail one in every 216 spins, well then don't stay for 216 spins. So I take 20% of that risk value. And to get that number, I take the amount of attempts that my progression has. So in this case, we have 7 attempts, 7 levels, and we're covering 18 numbers on the wheel. And I plug those numbers into a formula that I use, and that gives me a number in terms of spins and risk. So those numbers plugged into the formula, I get a number of 1 in 216. So that's how I know I have a 40 spin a 40 spin limit for this progression. So if we hit 40 spins before we hit our financial target, then it's time to go. You know, it's taken us already longer than it should to get to our target. I can usually win this progression somewhere between 25 and 30 spins. So going 32, 33 spins is already on the long side. And if you're just having a bad, unlucky day, then you just might as well leave before your system fails, right? And that seems to be how today is going. We're already at 31 spins, and we're only at $16. And look at that, going to level 4 again. We just can't seem to stay away from that level 4. This will be the it looks like the 3rd time we're hitting level 4. Yeah, so you know it's worse than average, but again, you know, we just have to stay away from 7 losses. And that, yeah, that win rate 37.5, man, I unbelievable. Like this is 2 days in a row now. Variance has shown its ugly face, and 23 will be another loss. So now we're going to level 5. Yeah, the deepest we've gone yet. So we have 3 more attempts. So this one and 2 more. So we just have to pull out of this. And there's lots of red on the board. It's not like we're lacking any numbers that are, you know, that aren't hitting above their expected rate. We have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15 red numbers right now. So let's hit one of them. And 25 is another blue number. So that's why we have 7 levels. We are on level 6 right now. So let's see what happens. Looking for a win. Any one of those hot numbers. Come on, dealer. And what are we going to get? 29? Oh. So we're on the last level, guys. So this is it. This is like do or die, right? We are on level 7. So are we going to make it? This is, you know, day number 8. So here we go. Hold your breath. Cross your fingers. Man, we just need to get this one win. Just please, God. Just get this one win. And what are we going to get? The 29 again? Oh, thank you. And did you see what happened there, guys? So 29, 2 consecutive spins, right? And the last one we won, but at that point it had been hit frequently enough that, you know, it was considered, I guess, hot. It made the hot list. It would hit it again 2 consecutive times, and we came back. So, whew, man, I hate going to level 7. I tell you, I hate going to level 7, especially when we're so close to doubling our bankroll. My God. Okay, so we're back in the game, and we are at we are at the top of our list. So it looks like we may make it to 40 spins, and we're probably going to quit before we hit that financial target. So we've got 3 spins left in the bank. So we'll see where this progression takes us. You know, we're going to finish up, I think, because we're almost there. We just about lost the bankroll, or at least our first bullet. And yeah, so I think once we pull out of this, and hopefully we pull out of this group of levels here, 22. Yeah, so we're going to call it quits, guys. You know, we'll bag this last win and then call it a day, because clearly it's just not our day. We have a 34% hit rate. It's just not worth it. I probably should have called it quits after we won that last one. But we'll bag this one. You know, hopefully we don't go to level 7, you know, twice in a row, and we'll call it a day. Just looking for one more win here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get my program ready to uncheck the box once we get this next win. 3, there we go. We'll take that win, and that's it, guys. So we'll take that win. So 1980. So we're, you know, just over $5 short of the target, but that's okay. You know, we're having a bad session, and it's just not worth sticking around to see what happens, because it's not worth risking the bankroll. This is not typical of a day. You know, most days I can finish with a 50% win rate, and we just didn't do it today. So I'm not going to bother, you know, trying to make that extra $5. It's just not worth it. Like I said, I've had better days. So guys, let me know what you think of the video. You know, I hope you like seeing the fact that, you know, discipline at play right now, because this is what we're using, is discipline. If you're just not having a good day, don't wait till it goes from bad to worse. You know, if you're just not hitting, then leave, right? And that's what I just did. And tomorrow's another day, and we'll give it another shot. So at least we get to live to see another one. And tomorrow or the next day will be the next video will be day 9 of this bankroll building series. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it's a better day. Anyways, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. I do appreciate it a lot, and I hope you enjoyed the video. You guys take care. Have a great day, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.
I was losing every night, chasing hope in the spin. Then the numbers started talking, and the table let me in. No more praying to the wheel, no more begging it to win. Bet master in the system. Now the money starts again. Yeah.